Hello, Pisces. How are we? I hope you've had an awesome April, and here we are for your monthly horoscopes in May 2025. The last few months has maybe been a little bit challenging. We've been spending most of our time looking back, and we've been spending a lot of time looking back at how we act in situations and the things we love, the things we desire, and we've been learning a lot of stuff as well from that looking back. And I think now we're getting to a place where things are starting to move forward. We're no longer getting stuck in the past. We're starting to move forward, and I think that's awesome. I love that. So for you, we've been looking the last few. I think over the last 8 years, you've really had this sort of a lot of boundaries and restrictions to just you in general. Like you maybe don't feel you feel like things have maybe been a little bit slower, or maybe things have been a little bit harder for you. And I think things are now starting to come together. And if they're not, I think that's what will start to happen over the next month or the next few years, because Saturn is moving out of your first house and into your second house, which is all about your material possessions, your day-to-day wealth, your finances, your self-worth, abundance, and all that stuff. Saturn's moving in there to bring some hard work and some challenges and boundaries and stuff like that. But all the work that you've been doing in yourself is really going to help you moving into that story. So let's dive into what May holds. You're the last reading, so from doing all the other ones, the theme I am seeing here is the start of the month. There could be a few wee things, a few wee rocky moments, but things start to get better and things start to move better at the end. And I think that's brilliant because we're getting ready for June. June is looking like a great month, and I can't wait to do the readings for June. So, because there's a lot of good transits in that month. But what I will say is there's only 2 squares this month. There's no oppositions. So, that gives you a feel for the month. It's a much lighter month. Things are moving more easier because we're now getting that forward momentum. The only thing that does make us look back is Pluto, but I'll get into that. So anyway, let's kick it off. 2nd of May, we are starting with Venus in Aries, conjoining Neptune in Aries. I like this one, yeah? This is all the desires you've got in that material front. All the desires you've got with where your self-worth, your values, your material possessions, your finance. Think about them. Venus loves money. Yeah? She loves money. You get Aries here. It's bold, it's fiery, it's taking the action, it's doing what needs to be done and trimming the rest. It's being the pioneer, the one who goes first, the leader in this area of your life. Yeah. And then you've got Neptune, who is coming in there and making things, bringing spirituality, bringing idealizing, romanticizing things. She also rules the visual arts as well, filmmaking, painting, photography. Yeah. With this, I think she's like the higher octave of Venus, so she's going to make all these things even more dreamier than they already are. She is your modern ruler as well. So Neptune, the only thing I would say with this, she does like to make things cloudy and can be a little bit confusing at times because she is so high in the sky that there could be a little bit of deception, yeah, but more self-deception, where you're like, I really want these things, but there's an unknown there. I don't know if I want them, or I don't know if I can have them. And with Aries, it's about not just saying you want them, it's about having them. Yeah? Aries is very, very good at getting going and getting things started and moving in there. But there's the deception there could say, well, I may just go after this because I know I can have this. And I think that's where you want to be like, I can go for this big stuff. I want to take action and go for the big stuff. I want to go for the cloudy stuff and stuff that is dreamy and romanticized and all that stuff. Yeah, I want to go for that. I'm supported by Venus to do that. I'm supported by Neptune to go after these bigger things. It might be cloudy. I might not know the answers. I might not know where I'm going, but I'm going to at least try it. Yeah. And I think that's the kind of energy I get with that one. And then on the 4th of May, Pluto is going retrograde in Aquarius, which is your 12th house. This is you. Look at what sort of theme. I don't think you'll feel this one this much, if I'm honest. I really don't think you will feel this one, unless you've got any planets or anything in your 12th house or at any of your angles, you might feel this. Or any of the, if there's any squares to this, then you might feel it. But I think it'll be very subtle. Because the thing is, Pluto takes 20 years to move through Aquarius. He's only been in for a few months. He's not far in his journey. And now he's looking back at where he's came to be able to move a little bit further. What does Pluto want to do? It wants to break down the old structures and rebuild the new, to create your biggest transformation, to give you your power in that area. So in your second house, he wants to break down all the structures of your material possessions and your wealth and your, not so much your, it's not like big wealth, it's more your day-to-day wealth, your material possessions, your self-worth. He wants to break down them structures. So look back. Now this is very, very, I don't think it'll be that harsh, yeah? Look back to December when he moved into Aquarius and what's been happening in your life in that sector over the last few months. Look back at these things. You might see things resurfacing from the past that are to give you that information to like where you've maybe let your power get away from you or where you need to take your power back. Yeah? You might see things like that crop up over the time Pluto is retrograde. He's retrograde for quite a while, but I don't think it's going to be a harsh retrograde. For you, Pisces. The 5th of May, then we have Mercury in Aries, sextile and Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini. For you, this is falling into your 4th house, your home and family. This is a lovely aspect. This is getting information, communication about your material possessions, your wealth, your finances. Positive. Yeah? Talking about it is going to help. Being bold, being direct with that aspect of your life. It's maybe doing something new here, which is leading to expansion, to growth in your home and family. I love that, yeah? Just be careful. Gemini can be a bit scattered, can be a bit all over the place, can overwhelm you. So just be careful with that. But apart from that, it's good, yeah? Apart from that, it's good. Bold communication. You might learn something that's going to start something new. It's going to take you on a new path in that area of your life. Quite good since like Saturn's moving in there. Yeah. Then on the 6th of May, Venus in Aries, all the things you desire and want from your material possessions, the things that bring you comfort, the stability, is making a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. The 12th house is all about your dreams. The hidden. It's the house of the hidden. It's hard for me to see what's going on in that area without speaking to you and seeing what the bigger picture is. But it's like dreams, the subconscious. There could be some fear, some self-sabotage, but this is a positive aspect. So I don't think there's going to be any endings or anything like that, self-sabotage. I think it's more, you're going after the things you desire, which is increasing your self-worth, which is giving you your power back a little. That sort of thing. That's the sort of vibe I get with that. The 10th of May, Mercury will then move into Taurus, which Mercury is at home in the 3rd house, yeah? He's at home there. It's Taurus, where it's slow, it's sensual, it's the stability. The 3rd house is your local community, your communication, your learning, your surface level learning. The 9th house is your deeper like learning, the meaning, finding more meaning, whereas the 3rd house is, you know, the answers, yeah? Mercury's getting that sort of information going on. Local community, siblings also fall into the 3rd house. Short distance travel, day-to-day travel, that sort of a thing. That all comes in here as well. So you're getting some new information in that area of your life. 12th of May is the big one. That's the full moon in Scorpio. And Mercury's going to square Pluto. So there's something in your 3rd house squaring. There's some tension between that and your inner world. Is there maybe like a wound or something from childhood that you've maybe battered down so far and you maybe it's starting to resurface? Maybe early education, maybe school, that sort of a thing. Maybe that's taking a little bit of tension. That's what I would say with the Mercury and squaring Pluto. Now, the full moon itself, that is going to be illuminating your 9th house. Okay? Mercury's in Taurus with the sun and Uranus. There's a breakthrough to be had here, okay? Uranus is about to leave the third house and go into your fourth house. But right now he's there. He's in the later degrees. He does get involved with this full moon. You will be feeling his energy. He's the planet of change, the great awakener. A little bit unpredictable, can be a little bit chaotic, but it's usually for the greater good. Yeah? Usually for the greater good. But it can feel quite chaotic in the thick of it. So with that, when it's between the third and the ninth house, we're getting the spotlight on your ninth house. This is your beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, your cultural beliefs, your higher education, your long distance travel. It's all about the meaning in things. It's not just scraping the surface. This is where you've chosen to go deep. But I don't think you've chosen to go deep. I think you're trying to control it. Or you're using this as a way to maybe bring comfort and to bring stability, but you're actually controlling the things there to feel better, yeah? To feel stable, to feel comfortable. And that could be like maybe spiritual bypassing a little bit, maybe. That's the vibe I'm getting there. But again, it could be, you'll know better than me what's going on in that area. If you aren't that a spiritual type of person, then you might not be doing that. But you might be finding, oh, well, if I just keep learning and learning and learning, there's people that do that. There's people that just learn all their lives, searching for meaning that never really comes. And it could be highlighting, like, are you trying to control things here with that learning, Pisces? And there needs to be change. And now you're getting that breakthrough to bring that change. Yeah? I'm going to do a video on the full moon in Scorpio where I will go deeper. My interpretation might change of that as I go deeper into it. But that is the surface level. That's what I get immediately. 20th of May, the sun then will sextile. Oh, I missed something. Go back to the 17th of May. Sun will conjoin Uranus. I told you Uranus was involved here. This is now, the light is coming to that breakthrough that needs to be had. It's coming to the changes that need to happen. The full moon has illuminated it. Yeah? Now Uranus is there and the changes are like, okay, we need to act on this. So Uranus is involved. Could bring sudden change, maybe chaos, maybe all that stuff. But in your third house, this is your communication. The local siblings could be here. If there's anything going on with family, like your close family, your siblings, maybe even extended family. I don't know. There are going to be some things going on there that is creating the needs to change. Yeah. Then the sun is going to make a sextile. Oh. Also on that day, Mercury is then going to square Mars in Leo on the 17th of May. So Leo for you is your sixth house. That's your daily routines, your health, your work routines, the way you serve the world, Pisces. Could even be pets. Yeah. There's a little bit of communication or tension coming up in this area. Yeah. Between your third house and your sixth house. Yeah. Is there a sibling or something that's not happy about the things you do in your life? The daily routines or your health, or there's a little bit of communication where you're learning something, some information that is not comfortable from this. From the sun illuminating what needs to change, there's something that you're not happy about, like with your work and your routines and whatever. Then on the 20th of May, the sun will sextile Saturn in Pisces. This, like Saturn has been in your first house for 2.5 years, 3 years. Yeah. I see this as like, you've seen what needs to change. There's that little bit of, there's something you're not too keen on, but the sun is like, look at how far you've come. You can't stop now. Yeah, that's the kind of vibe I get here, Pisces. Also, the 20th of May, after that, the sun will then move into Gemini. So if you're a cross watcher and you've got any Gemini sun and moon horizon, happy birthday. If you're a Gemini sun. Yeah, I like that. The sun is going to then come into your your fourth house, bringing that focus to your family, your closest relationships, your family, your roots, your home, your inner security could come in here as well. It's bringing light to that area. You can see there's a story at play here, yeah? You can see it coming. And then 22nd of May, Venus will then trine Mars. This is the turning point for me. All the information you've got, the things that are starting to make sense. I don't think they're making complete sense yet, and that's because the sun will also sextile Neptune, which brings that cloud, which brings that fog, which could make you be romanticizing and idealizing. Remember that deception there? The things that you don't really want, yeah? But the sun's there to let you see it, to give you a little bit extra light in that situation. The Venus is trining Mars. I like this. This is your second house and your sixth house. Your money, your work, the way you serve, the daily routines, your possessions. I get the feeling with that, it's a good day for you to do something, take some sort of an work action or a daily routine action that brings you this love, the desires there for. Yeah, that's a good day for that. Go out and mingle on that day. Talk about your work, talk about your daily routines. Then the sun sextiles Neptune, sun will trine Pluto, now the Pluto house in Aquarius, will bring the light to that hidden house. What has been going on, Pisces, with your mental health? Has there been anything going on with mental health? Because the sun is trining Pluto, which is in the house of that sort of a subconscious, things that are really out with your control. It's a trine, yeah, it's harmonious, it's auspicious, but you need to see it. I think you're starting to get the information to what's going on here. Then Mercury's going to conjoin Uranus, and this is information, communication that leads to change. Yeah? This is that time where you get the information, the breakthrough, you're like, okay. Again, is it still clear? Neptune's still involved. The sun's been sextile in Neptune. I don't think it's 100% clear. Yeah? However, I do think the clarity is en route. Saturn will then move into Aries on the 24th of May. Again, this is another thing I'll do a video on because it's a big transit. Moving into your second house. Love it. Yeah? You're going to get the boundaries, the structure, all that stuff for the things where your day-to-day money is. Great. You can see abundance coming in this area. Thing with Saturn is it might feel challenging. It might feel like a hardship. It might feel slow in the thick of it. But when you look back, you can usually say, okay, the rewards are usually better. Yeah? The rewards are usually better. I think this is like a financial blow up. Yeah? For you. Then Mercury is going to move into Gemini. Mercury's at home here. He loves it. What I would watch out for is getting overwhelmed easily, Pisces. You're getting all this information, doing all these little things. Yeah? Just looking for answers. Getting overwhelmed. You don't want to do that. Mercury will then sextile Saturn in Aries. You're starting to get a glimpse of what the Saturn story is looking like. The positive sides to it, anyway. Mercury will then sextile Neptune again, and you've still not got the community. You're still not clear. You're still not clear yet. Then we have the new moon in Gemini, where you're going to set your intentions. So what's been happening in the home and family, Pisces? What's been happening in that area? Jupiter's been there for the last year, making things better, making things grow, making things bigger, expanding, bringing good luck, bringing that positive outlook in your home and family. What's that look like for you over the last year? Now, the thing with that is it can become overwhelming. You can overindulge with information with Jupiter and Gemini. And that is one thing that can be a problem with this transit when Jupiter's moving through something like Gemini. So, what's happened over there the last year? Because that's another story that's tying up, but it doesn't finish till June. Set intentions just now. Do you want to see, what do you want this area of your life, your home and family, to look like in November, December time? What are you wanting it to look like then? Then Mercury's going to trine Pluto. Pluto's been doing all this looking back, getting all the information from your dreams, your subconscious, maybe surfaced a few things that were uncomfortable, but you're getting the information you need. It's harmonious. The breakthroughs are, you can see they're starting to get clarity. And then on the 29th of May, the Sun co-joins Mercury. Yeah? The Sun, Mercury, I'm right in front to the heart of the Sun. It's known as a Kazemi. Now, it's in Gemini. What did we say? Gemini likes to find answers. Not so bothered about the meaning, just finding the answers. Yeah. And that can be a little bit overwhelming, because you might find that you get a lot of clarity all at once. And you're like, whoa, which can then create confusion and overwhelm and all that stuff. So the best way is to, whatever comes clarity around the situation that comes at this point on the 29th of May, you want to absorb it bit by bit. Yeah? Taking it slow. Making sure you're getting all the information. Rather than you're getting it gradually over that second week. And that brings you going into June, which is a lovely month. It is a lovely month. We're going to have some things with the third house. We're going to have something which is that siblings and local communities and all that stuff, things that are close to home. There's a few things going on with family. There's going to be stuff going on with your romance, maybe love coming in, I don't know. Creativity, passion, the things you enjoy, that's getting a go up. And then there could be some stuff between the 6th and 7th house as well. So June is looking nice. Okay, Pisces, let's dive into the tarot part of this reading, where we're going to try and get you more information on what's actually happening throughout the month. We're going to break it down week by week. So we'll pull 3 cards for each week and see what stories we can pull out from that before we finish this video. Now, these cards are already shuffled, so not bunny, but what's going on? What's going on this month? There's a lot of good aspects this month, yeah? There's a few wee things, a couple of wee squares at the start, which aren't the greatest, but I think it's all coming together. Knight of Pentacles came out there. I don't know, we'll keep that there and see what it's trying to tell us for the whole. Okay, let's do this. What do we need to know for week 1? What situation are we in? Okay, so we're starting off with the Page of Cups. There's something that something you desire, something that lights you up, something that fills your heart, that you're just getting a little bit more curious about. Yeah, you're starting to maybe give a little bit to somebody else. You're starting to share your cup. Yeah, you're starting to get a little bit curious. Something is starting to fill your cup up as well. Yeah, you're a little bit more curious. You're learning something new. I think with Venus and Aries co-joining Neptune, you're learning something new. Yeah, you're starting to go after the things you really want. And are you looking for some sort of recognition, Pisces? Some sort of you want to be in the spotlight, maybe? You've got Mars and Leo in your daily work and routines. That could be a thing as well, where you're maybe starting to get the recognition you deserve. Yeah? And it's making you want to take a leap of faith. Yeah? You've got the Fool. You need to be brave. You need to embrace that Aries energy. I think with the 2nd house getting activated, and then Venus being there with desires, money could be coming in from public recognition. But you need to be brave. You need to take that leap of faith. Whatever you need to do around this time, it starts with that leap of faith. It's a new beginning. What a great way to start May off. Then, as we go on, you've got the 4 Cups, Knight of Wands, and 5 Wands. And maybe a little bit of competition, a little bit of challenges in this week, but I think it's around the full moon, which is in your 9th house. But we're starting off, we've got the 4 Cups. The 4 of Cups is all about you're focused on something the 3 cups that are standing. Yeah? But there's something being offered to you. There's something that's been offered to you, like a gift or something, but you're not interested. This could be something that brings growth. Yeah, when you start to explore that a little bit more. But you're too busy focusing on that, but you're choosing not to see that. You're choosing not to acknowledge it. You're choosing to ignore it. Yeah? To give your priorities to this. But whatever it is, it makes, I think if you take that and go with it, it's going to make you move fast. It's going to make you move with passion. It's going to make you move in the right direction. Yeah, I love that. There is a little bit of challenges. There's maybe comparison, maybe there's just a little bit of challenges with this creative project that you've got going on just now. That's lighting you up, that's filling your cup up. You're still in that curious stage about it, although I think this is where the Knight of Pentacles comes in. Yeah, I think that's telling you to stay grounded throughout this whole time. There's a few wee challenges. This comes up around the 9. This comes up, no it doesn't, comes up around the 2nd week, yeah? But this is with the full moon in Scorpio at the end of this week. So coming up with some challenges around that time. Remember what we were saying? That's in your 9th house of the searching for meaning. Where you're searching for meaning, are you staying too much in that receiving mode and not enough aligned action, which is then creating challenges? There could be some things that is maybe even like maybe spiritual bypassing, maybe like where you're maybe going for the comfort and the stability of the 9th house rather than, or you're trying to control it by thinking, oh well, if we don't need to do anything, we just need to sit and be. That sort of a thing, that could be challenging. That could be, but you need to take the action here. Yeah. Okay, we've got the 2 of Pentacles coming up next, which is about multiple priorities. I don't. 3 of Pentacles, you're staying grounded by the looks of it, Pisces. I like that. Whatever that challenge was, I think it was just a minor setback, or it was getting the information that was maybe a little bit tough to hear at the time, but you're like, okay, I've got this. And 5 Pentacles. It's a very grounded week. It's a very finance week. It's a very 2nd house week, I would say. So it starts off where you're going round in circles with something here. There's something from the full moon that makes you sort of like, we'll go in this direction, then go in this direction, but then we'll come back and go in this direction. You're maybe just spreading yourself a little bit too thin, which is creating that sort of multiple priorities. Or you're maybe all taking on too much all at once. The message here is to refine your skills. Go be okay with being the beginner. You've had the full, this is new, you're not used to it. Everything can feel a wee bit like that. The 5 Pentacles is all about not feeling like you have the resources to get you to the next level, to get you moving forward. You don't feel like you've got this. It can also mean that you don't have the finances. There's maybe like you don't have enough finances at this time, which is making you then, is that maybe holding you back from refining your skills, or is it maybe just hindering your progress at this time? Yeah. The last week though, yeah, when the Uranus information's all starting to come settle in, when you get that Sun conjoined Mercury, and you get the Magician, who's got everything, come straight after the Fool. This is the journey. You start to get your power, your magic, your gifts. He's got everything he needs. Yeah? Might have seemed a wee bit scary. You didn't feel like you had everything you need, but now you do. Justice. You're holding on to something. You're gripping on something physical. Something material. Money, maybe. Are you holding too tight onto money, your finances? Okay, Pisces. So we're starting off strong. Yeah? I'm getting Libra energy here. You need to stay balanced. I get the thread. I'm getting 9th house vibe here. Yeah? I'm getting 9th house vibes where you're looking for the higher meaning. You're trying to weigh up the options. You're maybe back into that indecisiveness, Pisces. But you've got this. You've got to stay strong. Make decisions with clarity. There's there is a Libra energy around this. I wonder if it's something to do with your 8th house. Could be stopping. You need to weigh this up to bring in big money. Yeah? Whatever this is. Because the 8th house is all about the other people's money, shared resources, your transformation in this life, your power, where that comes from. You've got the Justice card. There's maybe a little balance going on there. You need to bring the balance back, Pisces. But the 4 of Pentacles is holding on. You're holding on to something tightly. It's the things you have, your material security. You're holding on to it too tightly, Pisces. There's something here that you need to let go of to fully move. Yeah? Something in your material world. Let's take a lot of that clarity for that one. I think it's patience. Patience is coming up. Temperance. Queen of Swords. With Temperance and the Queen of Swords coming up as clarity for this one. Yeah? You've got the 4 of Pentacles is making you hold on tight and trying to make you hold on to that material security. Yeah? You need to stop trying to control it. You need to stop trying to control the outcomes here. Lean into flow. Be patient. Trust that it's coming. Trust that it's happening. Trust that it's working. Whatever you're trying to bring to life here. Trust. Remain balanced. You don't want to be stuck in the busy work. You want to be balanced between the two. Yeah? Then, once you do that, you're receiving. You've got the balance between not trying to control the outcomes. Queen of Swords. She knows exactly what she's got to do. And I think with the clarity coming on the 29th, I think that's the day where you'll get this ultimate clarity. There might be that little bit of, whoa, but that means I have to let go. That means I have to lose, or I have to use this money, or I have to do this, or I have to buy this, or... Whereas just have patience, have faith, have trust. This little bit of time where you maybe have to invest in yourself or invest in your growth or whatever you're not wanting to part with at this moment. In time, you'll know that that's the right decision to make. You'll know that's the right thing to do. And you'll stand there or you'll sit in your throne just like, yes. The information's come in, yes. I'm not stressed. I'm not going out to do all this different stuff and control things because it all is happening. We just say yes. We say no. We don't have to explain ourselves, Pisces. Yeah? We don't have to explain ourselves. There's a lot of pentacles. A lot of pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. That's moving forward, slow and steady. Now this came out, this fell out the deck. I kept this as an overall for the reading. And I think that's you. Stay grounded, stay practical, stay grounded and go slow. Everything's happening. Everything's coming together. You don't want to hold on to control. Things move slowly. I like finishing off in these two though. Pisces, I hope this resonated with you and I hope you have an awesome May. If you want to go any deeper in this and deep dive into these transits and see where it's hitting your chart, then come and book a private reading. I have private readings for 90 minutes where we can dive deeper and look at how this is actually affecting your chart. I mean, this is the transits that are happening. This is the way if you're Pisces rising, this is the way your houses are set out. But when we see your chart, we can get a better picture to make it more unique to your situation. So if you want to do that, go down into the description. I'll leave the link down there. And have an awesome May. It looks like there could be a little rocky moments, but I think whatever you're working on, whatever you're birthing into this world, go for it. Because I think that's where there could be a lot of money to be at from that. I think there's money coming in for you. I've said it a few times, but this May I really do see as the precatory month for June. Laying that firm foundation. Saturn's just about to move it into Aries at the moment. The end of this month, he will be there. Bringing that grounded situation to your daily money, your material wealth, your possessions, your abundance, that sort of stuff. Pisces, have an awesome month, and I will see you in the next video.